Ralph Sampson's going to be honored at the Hall of Fame Series Charlotte event next week on November 10th. It's billed as the night to honor Ralph Sampson, and he'll receive his Hall of Fame jacket during the presentation. His alma mater, Virginia, plays Florida that night. Tickets available at hofseries.com. What does that mean to you when somebody says Hall of Famer, Ralph?
It's especially with the Naismith Hall of Fame and the college and UVA, whatever, but it's very special because you're in the class of certain characters, as you know, that's played the game at a high level. It's a great honor for me, family, friends. This game against Florida and UVA will be special because they have new jackets and they didn't get to go to the Hall of Fame this year due to travel and family and stuff like that. But I'll get my new jacket and I'll wear it proudly. So it's special for me and my family, and just to be there in the Hall of Fame and what it means, I think, to sports to be in any Hall of Fame is very special.
Best player you played against was who?
Myself.
Well, you didn't play against you.
You have to play against yourself. Everybody tells me all the time, okay, in that era, you have to think about, I come out of Virginia and, I stayed for 4 years, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I wasn't ready to play against Moses Malone when I was in high school. Artis Gilmore, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Robert Parrish. I mean, all the big boys thought they were much stronger and much wiser, and they loved to fight back in those days, as you know. So I had to play against them and get ready. But, I tell everybody the hardest, the toughest, meanest person that I played against was Maurice Lucas.
Ooh.
Big Luke, and he was the sweetest guy, off the court. I got to know him after the fact. But every time I played him, he would come to center court and he would punch me in my chest before the jump ball started. I think, Luke, come on, man, here we go again. And we had a fight and we played the Lakers on the Western Conference Championship. And I'm like, man, come on, just don't. Why you gonna hit me tonight already? So you already started before the game started. He said, well, I can't catch you. I can't jump as high as you can. So I just got to beat you up. I'm like, okay, whatever. But he was the toughest man I've ever played against. And the strongest was Artis Gilmore.
Yeah. People don't realize how big Artis was, how strong he was. I mean, there's a couple of guys, they're just built differently in the NBA. Rick Mahorn was when he set a pick, it hurt.
Yeah, it definitely hurt.
Mark Eaton is one of the biggest men. I mean, even Yao Ming. When Shaq stands next to Yao Ming, you realize how big Yao Ming is.
Yeah. I mean, Shaq's not a small man. Shaq's not, but yeah, you're right. Artis is the strongest human I've ever met. And if you ever shake his hand, he tries to break your hand before you even get it done. I've seen him in games pick up Akeem Olajuwon with his left hand and pick him straight up off the ground with one hand and move him anywhere he wanted him to go. He's just the strongest person that I think ever played in the game. And, Rick Mahorn played well, but he knew what he couldn't do. He couldn't jump, he couldn't run fast, but he could beat you up, right? And that's the way he played.
I was wondering about with Victor Wembanyama, because when I do look at him, I do see you. But I wonder if you were coming up today, you wouldn't have stayed 4 years at Virginia, I'm guessing, and you would have gone to the NBA. But do you think that you could have been used the same way, given what today's game, because you played for Bill Fitch. Bill Fitch is saying, get down on the blocks. But in today's NBA, would you have had that talent, skill set to be able to do that?
God bless Bill Fitch, because 7-footers back then couldn't shoot threes.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to be close to the basket. So I would have loved to play in today's game because I got tired of being double team, triple team in the post, even from high school to college, and to get loose and dribble. So that's why I learned to dribble. I got tired of getting double team. I couldn't get the ball, so the only way I could get it was rebound and take it to the court myself. And so I was able to do that. But today's game would have been very, very fun to play in, shooting threes, dribbling, and even posting up with guys that were smaller than me. I could take it to the post as well. So I would have been probably, I think, pretty good in today's game for sure.
What do you see with Wembanyama and what concerns you?
I mean, he has great talent. I think he has a high motor. I watched him play the other night with against Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns, where they ended up winning 115, 113. And it was an amazing game to watch him play. He only had 18 points, but I tell everybody, NBA is very smart. It's the right or wrong reason he's with Greg Popovich, and he's one of the best coaches out there in the history of the game. I know with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, but he's going to have to have some players around him. But we'll see what happens over the course and period of time. Obviously, my concerns would be his body, but I think, and I watched him on some videotapes. I watched him on some Instagram stuff where he stretches. He has great flexibility. When I came out and in the NBA, they didn't have any weight rooms in any gyms. I was first one to board a weight room to the Houston Rockets to the NBA arena. And now San Antonio Spurs has a $500 million practice facility. Times have changed, right? So the diet is different, the workout's different. Although I was pretty good at what I did, but I had to cook my own food and prepare everything, which is fine. He has that to his luxury. But the body has to fill out. He's still young. He's still a young man. And the knees and the ankles after 82 games is going to be, we'll see where he's at the first year. But my concern would be that he plays against a smaller, quicker guy. And he twists and turns and twists his knee or ligament or joints, and that can hurt him. So I think he's got to get stronger physically. But his game is phenomenal. I love his game.
But the difference between putting on weight and building strength, what's more important?
He doesn't have to put on any weight. He just got to get stronger. And you see his arms. He has arms. His body's formed. It's coming, but he doesn't have to put on bulk. Right? We had to put on bulk and play in the post. And the body. I was 250 pounds at my highest playing. I came in at 225, 230, but I put on strength, muscle, and weight. And sometimes that's not a good antidote for playing in the NBA. But I think he'll put on just some strength, some pure strength, and then be able to keep his flexibility, yoga, and all the stuff he's doing that I see he's doing online. And he will be a phenomenal player, no question about it.
Ralph played in the NBA Finals 1986. I was at the Boston Garden when you guys were playing in the NBA Finals. I was covering that. You probably don't remember me, but I was there, Ralph, just letting you know. What do you remember?
What basket were you under? That's the question. That's great.
I didn't have good seats. I was up in the rafters there. What do you remember most about playing against the Celtics?
Oh, I mean, playing against the Lakers was fun and winning on that shot to get us there. But everybody, always wanted to play against the Lakers or the Celtics. I mean, you played in that era because they were so good. You want to play and compete and beat them. So going to Boston was fun. We were on a very good high coming from the Lakers to home and having all being celebrated to Boston. But we weren't quite ready for the Boston fanatics. You go there and when people from the taxi cab drivers to the hotel bus boys to the maids to everybody there with the Boston green, right? So you have to be prepared for that mentally. And then, we get beat up a couple games, then we come back in, and then I have a nice fight, in Houston because I wanted to win. I had a good first quarter, but I was having a conversation with Cedric Maxwell in his radio show a year or two ago, whatever it was. And when I go to Boston and they hang Ralph, kill Ralph for, having a 5-minute fight with Jerry Seating and Dan Ainge, they had a poster or I guess they made it out of socks and hung me an effigy over the Boston side at that point in time. And it was crazy. And the police made them take it down. But biggest thing I remember is not just the plan against Larry. Larry was very shrewd. Larry could play and he was deadly. We would have Robert Reed go to the game early, try to beat Larry to the arena, and you never could beat him. You never could. He would be there working out before, after. He couldn't jump. He couldn't run fast, but he was smarter to whip. So Robert Reed would try to go beat him to the arena. He never did. He never did. And so we're like, okay, Rob, just stop trying because he's gonna kill you tonight anyway, right? So but that was the fun. That was the fun part, fun days. And then so the other piece of that, Bill Fitch, when we knew we were going to lose, he made all of us get off the court. He took a timeout. All the starters got off the court into the locker room because he knew that the Boston Fanatics was going to swarm the court and something would happen. So we knew that. So it was fun. It was fun to play in that era. I mean, it was a good time for me.
Good to talk to you again. Have fun on November 10th when it's the night to honor Ralph Sampson. It'll be Virginia playing Florida. Thank you, Ralph. Good to talk to you again.
Always good to talk to you. Take care and see you soon.
That's Ralph Sampson, number 1 overall pick by the Rockets in the 1983 draft and Rookie of the Year. He was also 3-time college basketball player of the year.